Hey there. I didn't feel like getting all my stuff set up, so I'm just kind of in the corner of the living room here. Hey, Brenda. So, Lee is having back surgery tomorrow, and I've had some things I've been wanting to talk about, so I thought that this would be the easiest way to do that. But as far as Lee goes, he has 4 herniated discs, and this last one herniated like to an extreme where it's pressing on things, and he's not really able to walk very much, or just in a ton of pain. So he is looking forward to his surgery. Hey, Cassandra. He's looking forward to the surgery. He says it can't be any worse than what he's going through right now. So that's tomorrow. He will have to stay overnight. But we're really hoping that it gives him some relief and he can get back to his life and our life, because really it's just been on hold for, gosh, close to a month or so now. He hasn't been able to work or do anything. Hey, Michaela. But so that's the situation with that. The other thing I wanted to talk about is this YouTube channel. I was kind of hoping like there would be enough people on here where I could like get some sort of feedback from you guys, but let me angle this down. So I have been trying, like my goal has been to post like a video a week, going like months and months back, and I did pretty good with that. But now I feel like my channel is at this crossroads, and I haven't posted as much recently because I'm kind of at a crossroads of what do I want to do now, because I feel like I've told my story, like I've shared what all we've been through. We've talked about the medical side, the mental health side, and then this last video where Dr. Gozick and his wife participated. That kind of feels like that video in particular was like something I never could have imagined we would be able to do, and like we did it. Unfortunately, it hasn't taken off like my first video I did, that really horrible one that got most of you here. That video is edited poorly. It's just, I didn't know what I was doing, and that took off. I was kind of hoping this last one with Dr. Gozick would kind of take off. That's not happened, but I've been struggling a little bit, like having a hard time figuring out what do I want to do, like what kind of content do I want to do. On the one hand, like I built this whole channel on something on this thing that happened to me, never intending on becoming a YouTuber. And on the one hand, it feels strange to like keep talking about the same thing over and over, but I also know that like when you look at bigger creators, you know, that's what their whole channel it's I don't know, it's all very like niche down, and I kind of push against that a little bit. Like and I think it's been fun, but it's also hurt my channel a lot because YouTube now doesn't know, like, who is little trauma mama, what who do we want to show her videos to? And that's why my earlier videos did a lot better than my recent ones. Michaela, I don't know. I've been so busy. If I haven't responded, then I probably didn't see it. But anyways, um, so that's kind of where my brain is at. I don't really know. I guess that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about it. I thought about just making a video about it, but that requires a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of editing, and right now not enough viewership. So that's why I'm doing this live, just kind of thinking out loud, brainstorming, if you will. And I know that a lot of you, will see this later, and won't be on the live. But so, on one hand, I think it would be better for my channel to continue to talk about this thing, but I feel like, as I've said before, there's more to me, there's more to us than that, and sometimes I want to do something different. So that's where I'm at. Kind of hoping for some feedback on what kind of content would you like to see more of, what kind of content from, if you watch it regularly, what kind of content from this channel is the most engaging. I'm just, not that I'll base my decisions off of that, I am just curious and looking for some feedback with that. Yeah, so I haven't really done a whole lot lately just because I almost yesterday kind of made an abrupt decision, and luckily I didn't. I have learned enough to know, if you make a decision, think on it a few days before you do anything. More paramedic stories. Yeah, I can definitely do more of those. There's so much content to cover when it comes to people like Brittany Dawn. I did enjoy doing those videos, but I also, snarky commentary can also come across very mean girl, and I'm not a mean girl. I don't want to be a mean girl, but she makes it so easy. She makes it so easy to snark on her. But and the stuff going on in Oxford, Alabama, the paramedic, the EMS service, the director, and all of that. That's still ongoing. But I've just been quiet on it because there's been other things going on, and I didn't want to. I kind of wanted to wait on some other things before I made any more noise about that. But so what's interesting about all of this is, I'm at a crossroads now with my YouTube channel where I'm not sure what direction I want to go in, but the media stuff is just now catching on. So y'all know I do bad on these lives. I lose my train of thought very easily. That's why I can't look at comments in the middle of something. But so I've been talking about all this stuff for what, a year and a half on YouTube now, but it's just now got to where like it's in the media. So there was Newsweek and then People magazine. Supposed to be some Australian magazine. I'm not sure when that's supposed to happen. And then I did a local morning show recently, and then today I did a pre-interview with I don't know if any of you might be familiar with Daily Blast Live, but I'll be on that show on the, what is it, it's the 21st maybe. So it'll be like a 6-minute segment on that show. So like media stuff is happening. So I don't know. I'm just, I don't know what else I can talk about regarding all of that. Oh, you're doing chemo. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in a weird, do what you can do. Just keep us on update because it's new here. Oh, good for you, Michaela. So yeah, I did kind of have a thought about maybe doing a video on like looking, because this is hard for me to do live. I don't know why, but it is. But anyways, I've learned so much. I've got such a different perspective on things now. I haven't talked about that a whole lot. So I thought maybe I could do like a video on some of the, life lessons that I've learned, and I don't know. Thank you, Jessie. But yeah, so that was like the biggest thing I wanted to talk about. I just kind of wanted to give y'all or explain like where my headspace is at. I'm not really sure what I want my new content to be right now, but there's also things going on like in the media who are getting into my channel and my story. The woman I spoke to today at Daily Blast Live, she said that they're gonna plug my YouTube channel, and their viewers like love to follow up on these type of stories, so it would bring a lot of traffic, which is good. So I feel like to make different videos right now may end up hurting me, but I don't know what else to talk about regarding, what is so interesting to everybody, which is this crazy thing that happened to me. So that's where I'm at. Is it okay to email you? I have what I have, but at the same time don't want to be a bug or bother. Yeah, it's okay to email me. I may not reply as fast as I used to be able to do, but I will reply eventually. Just depends on what all I have going on. So the past week or so, honestly, this is what I've been doing the past week or so. Let me show you. Hold on. I really missed crocheting, and I started making this blanket, and my daughter wants it, so I've got to finish it and give it to her. But let me push you back here so I can show you. I got a couple more rows to do, and then the border. Let's see. Here it is. So I've been working on that while I've been indecisive about new YouTube videos. What else? My youngest is about to graduate. What is up with YouTube and the vertical titles? I have no idea. I have no idea what you're referring to. And Bailey has been terrible the past 2 days. He keeps flying. He won't stay put. He's figured out how to open up the laundry room door. And I've been keeping the laundry room door closed because he got to where he would go in there and he would there's a certain corner in the laundry room and he has just decided that that is his sacred space, and he will literally stand in that corner just scratching around for hours if I would let him, and so he gets territorial over it. And so I had to start closing the door so he wouldn't go in there, because when he goes in there he acts psychotic, and I fully expect to go in there and find some eggs that he's laid, which we say we don't really know if it's a he. The only way you can tell with a parrot is a blood test, and Lee's mom and stepdad never did that. So that's why they gave him a gender neutral name, and they have used he, him pronouns his whole life, and they didn't even know it, but they were on the forefront of telling people pronouns. But so it's possible that I will go in the laundry room one day to find an egg that she has laid. But anyways, today he's flying all over the house. He won't stay put, and he's figured out how to open the laundry room door. So that's been fun. Oh, hold on. Dr. Godzik just texted me. Dr. Godzik was texting me about Lee's surgery tomorrow. I would love to commission you if you're willing to do a piece. I'll take a look at it. I have not done a commission piece in a while because I'd been so busy with YouTube, like editing videos round the clock, that I didn't even crochet for a long time. And this is the first project I really worked on in a long time, and I get really picky about what I want to do. So like when I actually do have time to crochet, I want it to be something that I want to work on. So I guess it just kind of depends on the project, really. If it's something that like I want to do, it'll make it a lot easier for me to do, because if I don't want to do it, I don't want to spend my free time crocheting on something that that's gonna make me mad. If it's like a blanket or something like that, probably, but there's just some things I don't like. The little, it's called amigurumi, but like the little crochet stuffed animals and stuff like that, I can do that. I have done it, but I don't like it, so I don't do it very much. Do some content if you like there. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so you can just send me an email. I'll take a look and go from there. But anyways, yeah, so that was Dr. Godzik texting me about Lee's. He was wanting to move his surgery to first thing in the morning, because he's got a really long case, but they weren't able to do that. So his surgery is going to be late tomorrow afternoon, which is fine. Don't matter to us. But what else? Oh, something for the wall. Okay. I will take a look. I like bigger projects like that on my wall. I like wall pieces. I like blankets. Um, those are my favorite things. Lee is having back surgery. He is having a laminectomy on one of the vertebrae in his lower back. He's got 4 herniated discs, and although they all need surgery, he's gonna work on the worst one tomorrow, and hopefully that'll give him some relief. And then he said he would rather do multiple easier surgeries over time versus one huge surgery with more risk of complication. So anyways, I guess that was all. I just felt like I needed to fill you guys in on kind of where my headspace is at with the YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm just in this weird space where I don't know, I feel like, I don't know. Y'all know I got that one comment. I think I've only got 1 or 2 comments like this, but it was on my birthday last year in September. And I don't know if some of you will probably remember the comment I got on one of my videos that was something like, how disgusting I was for profiting off of my accident. And I mean, although I know that that's not true, I do understand that some people would choose to perceive it that way, and I really don't care. But I also don't feel it necessary to constantly talk about the same things a lot. And so that's kind of how I've done all of my content up until this point. It hasn't been super structured. It's been like, I'll do a video on what I want to talk about, because it's just not going to be interesting, or it's not going to be engaging or interesting or informative if I'm just reading if I'm just doing a pre-planned video because that's what was on the agenda today. So I talk about things that I want to, like something that's interesting to me or annoying to me or something I have a strong opinion about. That's kind of my compass right now for content, which is fine because I never set out to be a YouTuber. So if I say something stupid and get myself canceled, it's then I'll just get myself canceled. But uh, that's always a possibility. Are there any other? Does anybody have any questions or ideas, or what? I'm interested to know, one thing that's really funny to me is that the people that come to my channel, they usually come from a couple of my bigger videos, which are of course about my accident. And so they'll come and they'll subscribe and they'll leave wonderful comments, and then they'll watch one of my other videos and they will not be happy to find out that I have opinions on things and that my opinions do not align with theirs. So that's always really funny. Um, like, I am a person. I do have likes and dislikes and thoughts and opinions, and not everybody's going to agree with them, and that's the risk that you take when you voice your opinions on the internet. So although I hate to disappoint people, I'm not going to be something that I'm not. So I don't know. I kind of feel like, I don't know. I feel like maybe if I'm more myself and even more open and honest, that I don't know, I feel this need to like, when there's somebody new, I feel this need to like tell them all my controversial opinions up front. So they're like, okay, you're not for me, and then be done with it. Or, okay, we're on the same wavelength, we're gonna get along. I don't know. But so Brittany Dawn is still being an idiot on the internet. Um, she, oh my lord, she has come out. She made a whole video about how they are going to adopt, and she didn't make a video on getting a placement. She just, I don't know. It's just, it's wild. I actually do enjoy talking about that kind of stuff, because not because I want to be a mean girl, but because the hypocrisy is mind-boggling, and the like cult following that falls for that nonsense is also mind-boggling. And I don't know, I like to talk about it. What else? What else? What else? Oh, and have y'all been keeping up with the Micah Miller case in South Carolina, in Myrtle Beach? The pastor's wife that committed suicide, all of that. I have been wanting to do a video on all of that, but unfortunately, like, things kept developing faster and faster, and I feel like I got behind. So instead of making my own video, I've just been kind of keeping up with updates. But I'm curious what y'all think, because of course, like everybody else, I assumed that he killed her, right? Well, then I see where the medical examiner, like the report is like, that it was self-inflicted. And then also they released the 911 call where she told the dispatcher what she was about to do. And so based on all of that, it's looking like she did most likely kill herself, and he has an alibi. He was, I think, in North Carolina with his new girlfriend. So I'm really like thrown by all of that, to be honest. I'm wondering, is it possible that it's a good old boy system in Myrtle Beach and they're covering? Like, is it possible that things have been falsified? Stephanie, I don't know if they did an autopsy or not. But, and I only say that about the good old boy thing because, so as a former paramedic here in small town Alabama, I can tell you that it's not that hard to get away with things. And I'm not saying that I have witnessed a cover up or have been part of a cover up, nothing like that. But there's been calls where like we would respond to a death or something, and the coroner may not always be available. So we would just, once we pronounced it, this person, yes, is dead, and we would call the coroner. I would just call them on my cell phone and be like, hey, this is what we got, this is the address. And based on what I told the coroner over the phone, they would say, oh yeah, like, how does it look? What do you think? What are the circumstances? And all I had to do was say, I mean, it's elderly female. She had heart disease, blah, blah, blah. Family last saw her at this time. They found her at this time. And they would just be like, Okay, well, go ahead and just take her to the morgue, or in most cases, we would just take them straight to the funeral home. So we would pick them up from the scene and then take them to the funeral home where we would meet the funeral home director there, and he would go ahead and start embalming the person. So I'm wondering if I just can't help but wonder if there was some cover up going on within, the coroner's office, law enforcement. I don't know. I hope not. Um, but I can't help but wonder, because I know, like, her sister, I saw where Micah had told her, I thought her name was Mika, but it's Micah. So if I call her Mika, I apologize. But that's what I had started calling her before. I knew it was pronounced Micah. But anyways, Micah had told her sister, if something happens to me, or like if I'm shot or something. Basically, she told her sister, if something happens to me, it wasn't me, it was him. And um so yeah, could you imagine being her sister and her Micah telling her, if something happens to me, this was not me, this was him, and now she's committed suicide. And let's see, Stephanie, you heard she was cremated. Oh wow, okay. Somebody Google it real quick. I'm interested to know, and it will be rude of me to Google while I'm on a live. But yeah, so I've been following that case. Maybe I should make a video. I feel like there's so many good videos already. So many people are covering it, but who knows? Maybe I'll add my 2 cents in there. Well, I guess I would have something else to offer if I talk about my experience in small town Alabama and how it is possible to have things overlooked. So yeah, I just find it wild, and I'm very interested to see how it develops. And I'm going to be very upset if I find out that there was no autopsy and she was cremated. So, what? Lee's peeking over here at me. I was guessing his laminectomy was lower. His laminectomy is on L4 or L5, I think. But all of the lumbar discs are herniated, all of them. But the worst one is, I think, L5, L5S1. It's either L4, L5, or L5S1. I'm not sure. So, but yeah. So, if there's no other like questions or anything y'all want to specifically hear about, um, I won't keep you on here. I just really wanted to talk through some of this with y'all about where my head is at content wise. I don't know which way I want to go, so I'm just kind of pausing. I haven't heard anything about that case. Oh my gosh, you haven't. Yes, you need to Google. Her name is Micah Miller. I think it's Mica, Micah Miller. Her husband, JP, was a preacher at, I think he like owns the church. He's the preacher. So here's what's crazy about it, Beach Lady. She supposedly killed herself like on a Saturday night. Her husband, JP, goes to church the next day, preaches the whole sermon like nothing is wrong. And then at the end, he says, instead of an altar call, I have an announcement. And he made everybody stand up, and he just announces, hold that thought. Hey, babe, Dr. Godzik texted me. He's because I think your paperwork says like 3 or 3:30, but I feel like I remember Dr. Godzik saying something about like 5 or later. And I would hate to get there at 10 and yeah, so okay. Anyways, sorry. So he preaches the whole sermon like it's a normal Sunday, has everybody stand up, and then makes an announcement that his wife killed herself the night before. And then asked the congregation not to talk about it inside the building. He already has another girlfriend. In fact, that was his alibi, was he was out with this other girl. Micah has found, she kept like logs of everything and a diary and whatnot. And I think it was like 2 different tracking devices in her car that the mechanic found, because she also had razor blades in her tires. And I believe when she took the car in, it was the mechanic that found the tracking devices. So there's all of that. He groomed her when she was 14. He was married to another woman. And then he ends up leaving his wife. And then he gets with Micah, where she claims he was spiritually, emotionally, physically, sexually abusive, like in every way. And she was scared for her life. And then she turns up dead. And the medical examiner says it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And we did have the 911 call. So evidence is looking like self-inflicted gunshot wound, but all of the pieces of the puzzle, like that doesn't fit. So I don't know. I'm curious what else is thinking, because that's mind-boggling. That's crazy. I am glad it's getting attention though, because when I first heard about it, like it had just happened and it was her family, and it was before it blew up on social media. Because I remember thinking, I need to do a video on this. Like, this is crazy. And then like 2 days later, it just blew up. So I haven't created anything, but I have been following. But I might have to make a video on that. Oh my gosh, Stacy. Fox News has an article today. Micah's husband says he tried to raise her from the dead during the eulogy. I did see some headline regarding that. I can't remember, but I didn't read it. It was like in passing and I couldn't read it, but I did hear something about like resurrection or raising her from the dead or something crazy like that. I also read that her family had their own service, and her family did not go to the one that was at the church, and I don't blame them. How do I feel about Juice WRLD? I have no idea what that is. No idea. If she was cremated, they wouldn't be able to prove anything, would they? No. I don't know if they did an autopsy though. That's what we gotta find out, is if there was an autopsy. Because if there was an autopsy, like, but if there was no autopsy and she was cremated, no, there's no, the only thing they could go off of is like police reports, medical examiner report. And again, as I said earlier, as somebody that has worked in small town, whatever, I mean, I've seen firsthand how easy it would be to potentially miss something. So that's kind of why I'm not, well, they said it was, consistent with self-inflicted GSW. That's kind of why I haven't bought that hook, line, and sinker, because I've seen this work in real time. So we just need to find out. She said, I'm going to have to Google. Well, I did not plan on talking about this, but I'm going to have to Google that when I get off this live, because now I'm extra curious. But anyways, hold on. Yeah. So, and those of you who are not on the live and you may watch this later, please feel free to give me some feedback on what all I talked about, future of this channel, what kind of content do you want to see. I know, like, when I look at the, oh, hold on. Autopsy was completed and GSW was not found in, I did read, okay, now we need a video on this story. It's pretty suspicious. Totally possible that he murdered her or hired someone. I didn't read the part where they said that they did do an autopsy, but I did read that they said the GSW was not to the back of the head, as stated initially, that it was I read that the GSW was not on the back of the head, but was consistent with a self-inflicted GSW, which would either be here or here usually. So I had a weird call. I had a weird call many years ago that I don't know why, but it reminded me of this, and y'all like these stories, so I'll tell you about it. Many years ago, I ran a call for a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and what was weird about it is it was an elderly man, and he and his wife went to the grocery store and they went and bought groceries, and then they got home. There was no argument. There was no, like, this was mundane, normal routine. So they go to the grocery store and they come home and they are unloading groceries from the car, and the wife takes a few bags in, the husband takes a few bags in, so they're like passing each other loading groceries. Well, he made a couple trips, and then he came in on his last trip as she was going out to finish up, and he just brought in his last thing of groceries, and then when she went outside, he walked to the bedroom and shot himself. Very strange. Even more strange was that it was a 22. You don't see many with a 22. Anyways, yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then, oh, you want to see more? Let me show you my nails right now. Hold on. Aren't they cute? I wish that these right here weren't so sheer, but I posted on my Instagram and Facebook stories this last dip I did. I didn't talk about it. I just posted it, and some of y'all used my link and bought it because I made like 23 bucks. I am breaking the bank, y'all, but that was a nice little surprise. Like, I didn't have to do anything. I just posted it, and then I made 23 bucks. I was like, oh my gosh. I was really excited about that, but I really, really like this like ombre. I did have an idea to do something like this, but do like this nail bare, this nail with just a little bit, and this one with like a little bit more, and this one like 3/4, and then this one all of the glitter. I thought that might look neat, so I might try that sometime soon. A 22, yes, a 22 is a very small caliber round. The issue with 22s is that they leave a teeny tiny entrance hole, and there's usually no exit wound. And what happens when stated under TikTok she was cremated. But a 22, the problem with them is that even though it's a very, very small round, when it goes in and it like is like a ping pong ball, and so it's not like a straight path. It goes in there and just bounces off of everything, as opposed to like larger rounds that just. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that too much because I don't want to get demonetized or anything. I like hearing this sort of things by you. You have a background. I feel you have the knowledge to speak on questionable issues. Well, thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. I don't know about the knowledge. I just have opinions. I just have opinions. I've always been very opinionated. I've always been the friend that's going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie to you, but I can be gentle. Like, I will gently tell you the truth. I'm the person that says what everybody is thinking, but nobody wants to say, and then I get myself in trouble. Well, who's you having fun with? Because it wasn't me. I ain't had fun in a while because Lee's back's been hurting. But anyways, I will. Thank you, Linda. I will give him all your warm wishes. So, yeah. But yeah, if you have not heard of the Micah Miller case, Google it. You're welcome. If you have a TikTok, that is a rabbit hole you can go down for a while. But yeah, I may have to do a video about it just because I feel like I do have that extra perspective to put in there about, small town, rural, good old boy systems, and how maybe, are we sure nothing was missed? Are we sure there's not, this wasn't somebody that, like, the medical examiner knows the preacher and was just like, yeah, buddy, I got you. I would be curious about, I just have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions about how the whole thing was handled. I would love to know how it was handled. Did it 100% go through the proper investigation and channels, or was it somebody, an officer showing up going, yeah, she killed herself, and that's it, done, signed, sealed, delivered, cremated, done. So yeah. Well, welcome Willow Grove Farm. This is the first time I've caught one of your lives. I don't do them very much for two reasons. One is because my internet is terrible and you never know if it's gonna hold up or kick me out or freeze up or whatever. And number two is because I don't feel like I'm very good at lives. Doing a live is stressful for me because I either forget what I'm saying. If I read comments, then I forget what I'm talking about and it just stresses me out. And I also, when y'all see an edited video of me, I get to, when I edit a video, I go in and I cut out pauses. When I say I cut ums out. I cut out all the just the filler stuff. So it looks like I'm making a complete intelligent thought, but on lives, I can't do that. So you get to see in real time, like me glitching and, see, like that. That drives me crazy. And I did not realize how much I did that until I started editing YouTube videos. So that's why I don't do them much. I believe his new girlfriend's late husband. Oh, yes, Stephanie, I did see that too. I did see that. So what Stephanie is talking about, the preacher, so Micah is the one that died. The preacher, JP, is her husband, who has a new girlfriend. The husband of his new girlfriend was a quadriplegic in a wheelchair. He died, I don't remember how long ago it was, but he died after he drove his wheelchair into the pool and drowned. And I could be wrong, but I believe they said it was like during the day also. I could be wrong about that. But yes, so the new girlfriend's husband also died under weird circumstances. So the whole thing, if y'all watch the videos I did on this Oxford EMS stuff, the terrible and corrupted city council and director over there, I made the comment, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of smoke with this case too. There's way too much smoke for this to just be a cut and dry thing. It's reminding me of the what's her name? Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. If y'all don't know about that, that's another one that is very interesting and also terrifying. It was paraplegic because of a drunk driving crash as well. Okay. Yeah, so it's wild. It's really wild. But anyways, that's all I had for you guys. I will give Lee your warm wishes, and I will try to post something like on the I think it was Stacy. I'm pretty sure it was. But I will either post like on my Facebook or Instagram stories or on the community page, or who knows, I may just come on here and do another live soon. So real quick, my tentative plan right now for YouTube, while I'm in this weird phase of indecisiveness on what I want to do, I would at least like to, until I produce more content for the next few weeks, I would at least like to pop in and do like this, do a live. That way I'm not going 3 weeks without, updating y'all and hanging out and keeping you informed on what else going on. And I don't want you to think that I'm you know, hiding or ignoring. I'm just in this transition phase and not sure what direction I'm going. I'm trying to work on this book, and I've got the Daily Blast live thing coming up. So, anyways, but thanks for hanging out with me. I think I had more people, um, more engagement with this live than I thought I would, being at 3 o'clock on a Monday. But yeah, I will definitely pop in and let y'all know how he's doing. So if you have Facebook and Instagram, you don't already follow me on there, feel free to follow me. I do post. I've been trying to post like in my stories. I don't want to clog up like my main Facebook feed because I find it annoying. But I do try to post in my stories like little updates and stuff, and I will try to remember to also post on the YouTube community thing. So if you, I'm not one of those people that's going to be like and subscribe and share and all that. I don't do that. That's so annoying when I watch a YouTube video and they have to put their little, be sure to like, subscribe, and share and comment and whatever. Like, if somebody's watching your YouTube video and they want to subscribe to you, they're going to subscribe to you. They're not going to subscribe to you just because you're asking them to. I find that so weird. But one comment I do get a lot is people will say, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea you posted a new video," or something like that. So the only thing I will say is if you're one of those people and like you want to know updates in real time, here on YouTube under my channel, like next to my name, you can hit the bell, I think, and it will turn on notifications for my channel. So anytime I post a video or post in my community tab, it will notify you. So that way you won't miss all that. So, oh, you hate that too, Stacy? Yeah, I talk slow enough, so I don't want to like waste more time doing that stupid like, subscribe, share, comment. If they do, they will. You don't have to ask for it. They just will. That's how YouTube works. So, all right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will be sure to keep you posted on how Lee's doing, and I will see y'all soon. Bye. Thank you.